They never saw what you were carrying. They never took the time to understand what was burning inside of you. All they ever saw was the surface, and they judged it quickly, too quickly. They dismissed your potential, laughed at your ambition, and wrote your name off like you were just another dreamer chasing something too big, too bold, too far out of reach. You could hear it in their tone, see it in their eyes, that subtle doubt, that smirk when you spoke about your goals, the polite nods that said, "Good luck," but meant, "You'll never make it." And maybe you started to believe them. Maybe for a moment their voices got louder than your own. Maybe the silence that followed your effort, the lack of recognition, the long nights where no one clapped for you, made you question whether you were crazy for wanting more. But listen closely, this is not your end. This is your beginning. Because every single person who ever accomplished something worth remembering stood exactly where you are. Doubted, overlooked, underestimated. That's the price of being different. That's the price of vision. People can't see your future because they're too locked into your present. They don't know what's inside you, and they don't need to. Their disbelief isn't your burden to carry, it's your fuel. It's your ignition. It's the silent dare that says, "Prove me wrong." And you will. Not with loud words. Not with ego, not by stooping to their level, but by rising above it. You see, most people quit because they want applause too early. They want validation too soon. But greatness isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows. It's built when you show up every day and no one is watching. It's built when you're exhausted, when you're overlooked, when the progress feels invisible, and you keep pushing anyway. You keep grinding anyway. Because something in you refuses to quit. That quiet fire, that defiant heart, that relentless mindset. That's what separates those who dream from those who do. And one day, all the people who said you couldn't will have to watch you do it, not because you shouted back, not because you argued, but because your results will speak so loudly, they won't be able to look away. So don't be angry at their doubt, thank them. Because their disbelief is your motivation, their rejection is your redirection, their silence is your signal to go harder. This is your season of becoming, of evolving, of building in the dark so that one day you can shine so bright it blinds them. Don't chase their approval, chase your potential. Because once your success speaks, no one will even remember what they said, so stay focused, stay patient, stay hungry. Let your work do the talking. Let your wins carry the message. And when you finally arrive, not if, but when, don't waste time proving them wrong with words. Just walk in the room and let your success speak for itself. Asterisk, there comes a point in every journey where you realize that words are no longer enough, not because you don't have something to say, but because the noise around you has become too loud, too shallow, too distracted to hear the truth. You begin to understand that real transformation doesn't come from convincing others. It comes from proving something deeper, not to them, but to yourself. The moment you stop explaining and start executing, something changes inside you. The energy shifts, the hesitation fades. You don't need to talk about what you're going to do, you just do it. You don't need to post about your grind, you live it. Because eventually, your results will echo louder than anything you could have said. You stop needing to be understood and start focusing on becoming undeniable. While others are still talking, still waiting, still doubting, you're building, you're improving. You're showing up when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, even painful, because you've realized that true growth lives in the places most people avoid. They gave up at hard, you thrive in hard. They paused when it got quiet, you got louder in your silence. You don't chase motivation anymore. You've trained discipline to take its place. You've stopped looking for permission and started giving yourself the green light. You've stopped asking who's watching because you know the right people will hear the message when it's time. Not through your voice, but through your results. Not through your plans, but through your presence. You become so focused, so obsessed with rising, that the same people who once doubted you are forced to watch in silence, unsure when the shift even happened. But you know, it happened the day you stopped proving them wrong with noise and started proving them wrong with action. It happened the day you realized your work is your weapon, your silence is your strategy, and your success is your statement. This is not about ego. It's not about revenge. It's about alignment. About waking up every day and moving in the direction of your highest potential, whether anyone believes in you or not. Especially when no one believes in you. Because you've seen what happens when you show up for yourself consistently. When you sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term greatness. When you stop craving recognition and start building reputation. Reputation not for what you say, but for what you do. Your legacy is in motion. Every late night, every early morning, every setback you turned into fuel, it's all stacking, building, rising. You are becoming a force they can't deny, a name they can't forget, a presence. That speaks louder than 1,000 voices ever could. And when they finally see you, not the version they once mocked, but the version you built in silence, you won't need to remind them of their doubt. Your success will speak for you, loud, clear, uncheckable, so stop wasting time arguing. With critics, let them watch, let them wonder. Let them question how you went from never to now. Your story is unfolding, not with noise, not with hype, but with undeniable, unstoppable proof. Let your work speak, let it scream, let it rise above every word they threw at you. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to be explained. You are here to leave no room for doubt, to become so excellent they can't ignore you. Not someday, not eventually, but starting now, with what you do, how you move, and the fire you refuse to put out. You are no longer chasing recognition. You are becoming the proof, asterisk,